About a 28-year veteran of the department. I've been a commander since 2017. So whatever, 7 years or so. I've been in the 11th precinct for we'll call it 2 days now. So unfortunately, the department moves command officers around. I've worked a lot of places, but commanded number 9 for a long time. Big neighbor over here to the east. Been at homicide, major crimes, and the last couple of years at organized crime. So just got moved here. Just really get my feet wet, but not my first time. Number 11, I was here when it was northeast as a lieutenant back. Yeah, it's been over 10 years ago. So I worked here in 2012 and 2013 before I got promoted to captain. So just happy to be back. Number 11. Crime's not terrible, but we're working on it. We're just going to give you some updates on crime in itself, but my background is pretty much in policing and patrol. So I did homicide and some of the fancy units, but my heart and soul has always been a patrol cop. A lot of boosters in my past, and unfortunately, bad people need to go to jail at times. And I'm kind of on that side of the fence. I've been a pro arrest, and that's been my career, is chasing down bad guys, taking bad guys to jail. I'm a big believer in removing guns from the streets. Unfortunately, everything that, when we talk about crime, usually involves around a weapon, firearm, and usually there's some impetus of that vehicle or that weapon being moved at some point, whether it's on a person or a vehicle. So I'm pretty pro removing guns from the streets and fighting crime. I love the community. You'll see me more. I'm more of a street guy. I just went out and backed up some guys to try to make their community events. I see a couple of faces, and I'm certain you remember yours sitting right in front of me now.
I said they have been with us forever.
It's been 10 years since I've been in each of you,
Right here.
and I do see familiar faces, and I'm sure I'll get to know everybody. So I'll turn it over to Captain Murphy.
So good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
It's been a couple months since I've seen some of you, but I've seen some of you more recently. So good to see all of you. So in the area of crime, happy to report that aggravated assaults, we are down in comparison to last year's statistics. We are down in non-fatal shootings compared to last year. We're down in robberies. We're down in carjackings. We're down in larcenies. And we're down in motor vehicle thefts. Unfortunately, we have had an uptick in homicides, sexual assaults, and burglaries. We've noticed so we've got some partnership with some of the federal agencies, such as the FBI, the DEA, ATF. Those different law enforcement agencies on the federal level, they partner with us and they come in and they collaborate with us in our attack on crime. They have a different set of statutes with regard to state statutes and federal statutes. So we collaborate to try to maximize the penalties for the individuals that we prosecute. So we have the FBI here just to kind of give you a brief synopsis of what they've been doing. They've been focusing heavily on those individuals, those groups and gangs that are trafficking narcotics. So in understanding that dynamic, what tends to happen is if you have 3 major players or groups of people that are selling narcotics in the neighborhood, when you take out one group, that territory is kind of left unattended, so to speak. And so you have the other 2 groups that are selling narcotics fighting over this now group that's empty. So unfortunately, it's a means to an end, although it's their efforts to get to where we need to ultimately be, a community without narcotics. What it's done is essentially destabilize the ecosystem. So until they get all of these groups indicted and prosecuted, that's what we theorize. That's contributed to the increase in, criminal homicides. But other than that, the focus has been, on anyone, pulling a gun, using a gun, and whatever the crime is, we are aggressively pursuing them. I don't know if you've heard, but we've commanded, the teams here, we've boosted them up. You pull a gun on somebody, we gonna ram your front door and cut in the kitchen. That's one way we have to ensure the safety of this community. The only people that should have guns are those people that have guns legally by the state. And usually those persons that are legal gun owners, they don't behave like this. So like the police carry guns, we don't behave like this. So our focus has been on gun violence, and the way to reduce that is to attack the people that are carrying guns illegally and those utilizing guns. So that is at the forefront of what our focus is, and our target is to address the gun violence. Because if you don't address the gun violence, then what you have is community filled with families that are constantly in mourning, or people constantly retaliating. So gun violence beget gun violence. So that's been our primary focus. With regard to quality of life issues, we have our great team here. Most of you know who they are, our neighborhood police officers. We have two of them in the room. They are outstanding. Dan Robinson and Marshall Williams. I have put a charge on them, some of the complaints that were raised at the last meeting with regard to abandoned vehicles and trash and debris. We've made that their primary focus, while I have a special operations unit addressing those locations with narcotics and those individuals carrying guns. Our neighborhood police officers are focused more on community issues. So we realize that living in this community, safety has to be paramount. You can't have a city without business, without residents, without schooling, unless people feel safe. And that responsibility lies directly on the police. So we accept that charge. It is our pledge to you, as I stated when I first came over in October of last year. It is our pledge, it is my pledge to continue to dispatch the officers that work under this committee to ensure that we fight crime and that we deliver professional service to the residents of this fine precinct as well as the city. So that's basically an overview of what we have been doing here with regard to our crime fighting efforts, our efforts to try to uplift and instill in the community a sense of safety.
What's his name again?
Dan Robinson.
Dan Robinson.
D. Rob.
D. Rob.
I never heard of that.
Okay.
I want to make one comment. I'm going to cut my work after our meeting. He made one comment. It's the responsibility of the police, the safety of the community. I'm going to disagree with it. It's all our responsibility. Unfortunately, there's just not enough of us. In fact, when I came on, we had twice as many. Unfortunately, we still had crime. And in those 28 years of policing, it's got to be everybody together. We can't be siloed. So we definitely need to work together. Community groups have been phenomenal. Just in my background, working homicide and working major crimes and organized crime, we can't do it without our community stuff. So sorry for that, but
Yeah, I did.
we were going to do everything we can. We were going to bend over backwards, but it's got to go both ways. And we need the community, the eyes and ears out there to tell us what's going on. Witnesses, unfortunately, none of these crimes happen in a bubble, and there's generally somebody out there that knows something. And 28 years snitching policy. My good friend Derek Blackwell from Black Family Development says it the best about a snitch. The whole snitching policy. A snitch is when me and Derek go out and do something bad, and I get caught. With Derek, that's a snitch. Everybody else is a witness. And we need those good community witnesses to come forward and be like, hey, that's the person that did it, because that's the block I want to live in. When everybody helps everybody and says, bad person, let's get them out there. So just that little caveat in there, there's 100% right, we're gonna do everything we can, but we certainly need our community's help. Thank you.
We have the whole command staff. Do you wanna, Officer Williams or Officer Robinson, introduce your whole staff?
How about Raina introduce you?
Okay. All right.
Right, we got MPO Robinson, MPO Williams, known as a sugar bear. We got MPO Eric, MPO Secria, we got, Officer Marie and Officer Tom, they're working with us in the ops back now.
Welcome. You guys been here, a minute. Been here a year. Yes, about a year. Okay, who the faces look familiar, right? Thank you guys so much. We appreciate everything you do. Thank you. Now, in all respect, what I should have done, and I slipped my mind, told you a man to everything away. I at least want to have just a couple of moments of silence for Commissioner Burke. Ms. Burke. Of course, we all know she, her funeral was Saturday, I believe. I think that was the 9th or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that Peace Baptist. So I do want to do that. Just a couple of moments of silence for Ms. Burke. Trust me, I'm gonna miss her on this. I'm gonna miss Jackson. And so I'm gonna miss that. If nothing else, I'm gonna miss that. So let's just do a moment of silence. Okay, thank you. We're gonna let our guest speakers go before I get into my whole spiel. So we're gonna start out with our youth connection. Yeah. And if you could come up there, we don't have a mic for the podium, D-Rob?
You need one?
You don't need a mic? Okay. Well, can you stand there and talk to yourself? Yeah, I would like you to stand there and talk to yourself.
And I'm gonna be on camera.
It's actually.
That's what we all about. We wanna see you from the real to you.
Take a look at that top line. Off camera.
Wait, which one, look, which one? I don't know, because you're trying to get me to look at it. No.
Just look straight.
Camera's there, it's getting done.
Just look that way. Let's camera point out.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
My name is Dawn Calloway, and I represent the Community Outreach Department at the Youth Connection and the Love Detroit Prevention Coalition. So it's been a long time since I've been here. I used to come to the ComStat meetings all the time when I worked for St. John, then it was Ascension. So I feel right at home. A lot of familiar faces, and it's really good to see so many of us out this evening representing our communities. So our primary focus is community collaboration, engaging the community, just as you're doing right now. We have to take a stake in where we live, where our families live, so that our communities can thrive, so that we can continue to raise our families and pass on our homes from generation to generation. Our other primary focus is substance use prevention, primarily amongst youth. Because if we reach the youth and get them to understand the importance of not using drugs, then they develop into responsible adults who make wise choices when it comes to whether it's a prescription medication, an over-the-counter medication, or something that's on the street. So I take great pride in being able to share information that can help us all. So the program that I'm representing tonight is our over-the-counter prescription drug program. So it's a combination of sharing information in regards to safe storage and safe handling for those prescription drugs that many of us have, we begin to take as we get older, and then for the over-the-counter drugs. So in this presentation, you learn the difference between prescription and over-the-counter drugs and how they're used and how you, what the proper dosage is, but most importantly, in how to store them. Just as we focus on gun safety, we have to focus on medication safety in our homes. I'm a prime example. I had my blood pressure medication on my dresser and my granddaughter was in my room and she had the container. Okay, so if they can crawl, they can pull up, they can actually access anything that you have laying around, be it medication or unfortunately guns as well. So when you think about guns and all the issues that are going on with gun safety and preventing our children and adults from getting our hands onto devices that can cause harm, please keep medication in mind. We have to store it safely. So our workshops are 1-hour presentations. They're lots of fun. We have raffles, we have light refreshments, and we encourage the community to get involved. Let me also say this, we have 3 targeted zip codes that we focus on when it comes to community collaboration and substance use prevention. So it's the 48234, 48203, and 48205. Now, we all know where we are right now, but you may know someone in the other zip codes. We have to come together as a community. Okay, we have to handle drugs safely and appropriately in our homes, and we need to get them off the streets. And so it is my call to you, a call to action for us to all come together to implement these workshops. I'm looking for some excited people tonight to say, hey, I'd like to host a workshop, or I know someplace that you can come and bring this 1-hour workshop to your church, to your community organization, to wherever it is that you might live. So safe handling, safe storage, knowing how to properly take your medication, knowing how to properly read labels. If you don't know how to read it, you don't understand it, don't leave your physician's office without having that understanding. So I do have, and if it's okay, Kim, I have a sign-in sheet, because anytime that I present, I do need to get the sign-in sheet completed. I would need your names and at least a phone number or an email. And if you're interested in further information or attending a workshop, we do have one on March 30th. That's a Saturday at 2 p.m.? At 2:30 p.m. at our new location, which is at 300 River Place, right on the river. Absolutely beautiful. You can come to the workshop.
I co-sign. I co-sign.
And then you can take a stroll down the river. It's absolutely beautiful. And please allow me to say this, I must backtrack. Dr. Dudley is the president, CEO of the Youth Connection and the Love Detroit Prevention Coalition. And her mission is to make change, positive change in the community. And we need all of you. It takes a village. Just as the officer said, are you basketball officers? These guys in uniform, but they said, it takes all of us. It's not just the work of the police. We have to police our communities ourselves, all right? So I'm so glad to be here. I'm so excited. Oh my gosh.
Get the address again.
300-300, and I have flyers. I'm gonna give everyone a flyer, and I'm gonna pass my sign-in sheet around as well. Okay, so my eyes are bad, so you guys have to print really clearly so that I can read it. And then, yes, Miss Diana Austin.
What zip code did you say? You say 48203.
05 and 34.
Okay.
Those are our targeted zip codes, because these are some of the most marginalized communities in Northeast Detroit. Okay. Any questions for me? Yes.
What about medication take back, expired medications?
Okay, that is one of our initiatives. I kind of wasn't supposed to talk about that because we don't have a date yet, because the draft is coming up. Right, so yes, Officer Williams.
You can refer to us.
If you have a question about that, we'll talk about that after the meeting.
Okay, because we want Michigan to be number 1 in take back, but I think they want number 11 to be number 1 in that.
We are your reigning champions. We are your reigning champions.
Yes, you are. Yes, you are. And you want to maintain that title, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, okay.
Yes,
So I thank you. Anybody else have any questions for me?
Is there anyone online that has any questions?
So can I walk away?
You can.
Thank you so much.
Okay, so before we go to our next speaker, do we have any questions for our commander and our captain? Yes, ma'am.
I'm noticing a caricature on sign on buildings, red. Caricature on buildings all over the city of Detroit. I've even seen it in the suburbs. It's for sure a gang sign. Has that been identified?
Where have you seen it?
I've seen it on
Is
buildings.
that the one with
up
some
and
eyebrows?
down-
and then-
eyebrows,
Yeah,
buck teeth,
yeah.
all up and down 7 Mile.
Mhm.
Standing on 8 Mile, big red caricature.
Y'all seen it?
Is there any specific places?
No, no, no.
Was it a
Big
viaduct?
eyes, big eyebrows, big buck teeth, and it's like big as.
7 is John.
Cares.
I mean, John.
7 is John
Yes, John.
Arden.
Yeah.
It's all up and down that way.
I just came from organized crime and also under that was our general assignment unit, which does graffiti, false copper and all that stuff. Did not come across my radar, but I'll try to get somebody out there and take a look and then gain intelligence as well. So
I'm even seeing it in the suburbs.
You can't help but see this little crazy looking character.
Yeah.
It's a crazy looking character.
Big eyes.
Oh, like 77.
Big eyes.
It's always in red.
It's always, I've seen it always in
I've
red.
seen
I don't
it
know.
today, multi-colors.
You see one, okay, I've only seen red, so.
8 Mile, came down 8 Mile from downtown. Woodward from downtown.
So, but abandoned buildings.
Abandoned buildings and some habitated buildings.
Okay.
It's very big.
I know this isn't like very artistic.
Yeah, cause perfectly,
It's probably
everyone
not as
looks
much
alike.
gang related as it is. Can't think of the guy that we tried forever there. You know, we have the taggers and we hit them really hard. The previous commander here was famous for it actually. And then it's kind of like way down, the tagging, the graffiti. We did see a rise, so I'll get somebody from GAU to actually look at it. And just, I asked that gang signs and then, you know, they're considered artists and maybe they are artists someplace, but they're destroying public property artists.
Everywhere.
Different animal there. Thank you.
Ms. Jackson, I have a real quick question.
Yeah, we got one.
Okay.
Oh, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Hello? Yeah, okay. And my question is this, in terms of, and everybody knows what I'm getting ready to talk about, and I'm just wondering, is there something being done about it? And that is, you know, you're driving in your car, you come to a stoplight, and, you know, light is red. It's clearly red, and most people stop, but almost always there's one or two drivers that decide, you know what, I don't think it's red, I think it's green, and they just drive through it. And, you know, and this happens regularly. I know sometimes, you know, our police officers, you all are doing your work sometimes, and, you know, you may not have your lights on, you might, and I think that people have taken that mindset on. So I was just wondering, is that something that, that at least is on your radar, and that, I know I'm in the 7 and Sherwood area, and I know you are pretty aggressive. I've seen you do a lot of stops. And I'm wondering, is that, maybe that's part of it, but I'm just wondering, is that something that's being given attention? Thank you.
And if I could answer, I'd say absolutely. So our traffic enforcement, citywide traffic enforcement, they actually go off the accidents. It's probably the biggest, unfortunately, 7 Mile, your Gratiot, your major thoroughways. But they do it daily, actually. They look at the high statistics of accidents in the city and then, you know, kind of wolf pack to that area. And then from a local, we're just pushing one right now, one traffic card. Yeah. All cars, you know, every officer out there can enforce traffic and hopefully does, but they're also busy going to run. We have just one unit, one motor unit in the precinct right now. And there'll be another one starting next Monday. Correct. Yeah, next Monday, we're gonna bring on another. So any of those specific areas like that you have there, you know, let us know and we'll get people on it, sitting on it specifically. But great question, and yes, we're addressing it, and we know we can do more, and we'll continue to do more.
Are you noticing it at a specific intersection? Is anyone want?
7 and Ryan. Right.
7 and Ryan. 7 is Ryan. 7.
7 in Sherwood too.
Data center,
What was that? Data center.
that remains in a way.
In the Sherwood. Anybody else noticing some traffic hazards or? 7 miles.
The post office, they're traveling 40 miles an hour
Where is that?
on 7 miles by the post office. And they're coming off of
7 miles.
Yep, and when you come out of the post office, you better be careful. Because they're speeding.
We do have we'll look at it Thursday, just the city average of accidents is just, it's so high, and it's very poor driving. You know, there's lots of different things.
I just said,
And-
biggest thing is that, and they happened right in front of me last night, and I knew he was gonna do that. He was in a red Charger. Here we are to like 7 Mile in the Winter.
Yes.
I knew what he was getting ready to do, so I said, Kim, you just sit there because he get ready to act a fool. What he do, he was in a left-hand lane, going to make that left-hand turn, so anybody normal would thought. But when that light turned green, he jetted right down that lane, and thank God there wasn't a car that was trying to make a turn in the other left-hand lane. He jumped right down that lane to get in front of everybody else. That is the biggest thing they're doing right now, and that drives me insane.
And also, hello?
Hello?
Yeah, we hear you, Pat.
Oh, and also, Otter Drive and Ryan too, in that area.
Yes.
Yes. They go through the light,
Left turn lane right there.
left turn lane, yes.
Man, they come up and they act like they're getting ready to turn left and then zip over in front of you, almost cause an accident. Yeah.
And I'm driving Ryan.
Yes, thank you.
Hello, this is Sharice Martin.
Go ahead, man.
Hi, we have a lot of people too, goes up the wrong way on the one-ways, on the one-way streets. And I mean, there's a lot of them.
What street?
Like Norwood, any street over here, any side street like Norwood, any of the one-ways that go the wrong way. We have them going, come in on Remington, from Ryan to Remington. We have them coming up from 8 Mile all the way to Olive Drive on Norwood.
Yonka.
In Yonka, all that.
Yeah, Binder and all those streets in that area. And Wexford.
Yep, Wexford.
In that area.
And Binder.
Remington.
I have a question for you guys. How many houses can you go down the wrong way? Like if you live at the second house, how many houses do you get to go down that wrong way? Say it again.
No.
Okay, because I got somebody the other day who, and we get that a lot too. And so you guys gotta be mindful of that, because when you guys complain and we come out, we always end up getting a lot of you guys, not the people y'all talking about. So remember, 0, if you live at that second house, you gotta go around the block. Or park on the corner and then walk. You can't go, I don't care how, you can't go 2 feet on a one-way street. You got to park on that corner and walk, or go around the block.
Well, that is a lot of one way. Gallagher Street.
I got another question for you.
Winchester.
Okay, hold on 1 second.
Gallagher Street, they come right up the street going like they're going to the House of Danko. They down that way, but they usually come up the one-way street and go straight into the House of Danko. Up the one-way street. You don't know if they're going 8 Mile, but I peep out my window and say, oh, they're going to House of Danko. Oh, they get 8 Mile. Always a one-way street. And they always come up a one-way street on Winchester.
Justine is bad too. It's the street you have, all of them have to come out.
Justine.
Yeah, Justine.
From
So
what's
everybody comes between,
What's the cross street?
between Nevada and Stockton, I know, because I stay there. And they come down there all the time. Matter of fact, one lady came down and hit a couple of cars.
You know what, right there, a couple of weeks ago, I got a couple neighbors there. There were both of them coming from the school, picking their kids up from Pershing and coming up the wrong way, and I went and got them. I saw them. I just happened to be going the right way up the street, and they were running right to me. And so yeah, both of them had to see me.
The area between, Outer Drive and 8 Mile and Sherwood and Van Dyke. You put a car in there, you can probably write you about 10, 15 tickets a day. They do not pay attention to one-way streets, you know, speed, the whole 9 yards, that whole area.
I got another question too. A lot of times we see these big old 18-wheelers coming down Outer Drive and they be speeding. Is there any way we can get some traffic signs up there saying trucks over 2 axles shouldn't be on the Outer Drive strip?
So we've visited that before, and we did make sure we had signs. I actually have a meeting. This is MPO Robinson. I apologize.
Okay.
I have a meeting on Thursday with some other city officials, and we're going to address some truck traffic in some other parts of the neighborhood. And I can make sure we bring that up as well. The city engineers will be there as well. So the traffic engineers. So I'll make sure to revisit that as well.
Because they come around like 2 a.m. I mean, they just be driving
In the
fast
morning,
in the morning, early in the morning. And you can hear it and it just rattles the house. You know what I'm saying? It's rough. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, me?
Yeah.
Okay. 2 questions. This is probably my first meeting, I guess this year, I used to come to these before. But generally, what is like the coverage in terms of how many southbound, morning shift, afternoon shift, evening shift that we have in this whole precinct?
Patrol response, so platoon uniform cars, it's about 4 to 5 on days, afternoons, like 3 to 4 on nights. So that's, basically 8 officers out there. That's to take just the run volume. Then you have special operation officers that are they're generally out of service, but they're very generally hunting for bad guys with guns, and criminals. You have MPOs and days and very flexed hours. But that's a pretty much how much we have out.
So this whole precinct.
Correct. Right. I don't see closer, and I just looked at the manpower yesterday. It goes up to 6 at this time. But it's about a 5 average.
Okay, second question, what kinds of technology police department using like some of these areas? I know they have the technology where you can see the gunshots are. But I know they have the technology where you can put cameras, and I don't know if you use that technology. With GPS, everybody got a cell phone. Exactly what kind of, technology techniques?
Absolute great question. And unfortunately, I couldn't tell you everything here. So of course, we have several green light partners. These guys might be able to tell you exactly how many. Here's technology for the police. I don't believe we have shot spotter number 11.
We actually do. We do have.
Touch quick. Over in Far East End coming.
We have some. Let me grab sorry about it.
So, okay, we have some shot spotter.
I think so much more technology we use, since we don't have a lot.
License plate recognition, license LPRs, and flag. And I don't know for sure in number 11, limited. The city has a contract to highly expand it, and they are absolutely phenomenal. People have a lot of different opinions on them. But if my car gets stolen, I want as many as possible to be like, hey, just go by here, hey, just go by there.
Right.
They are
I thought they would be, I
fantastic investigators.
thought they would be in the pole lights or something.
I think they are.
Be good.
They have them, so that's some of the technology that
Yeah,
they have.
that is what helps us.
Swerve mileage coverage, I'm not sure on ShotSpotter. Maybe these gentlemen can tell you. How much ShotSpotter we got, kids?
Can't give an exact number on the shot spot itself, but the entire region of 8 Mile and Nichols, calling to John, and it's on the west side of our precinct as of right now.
Okay, excellent. So probably rough 2 square mile, I think that didn't amount to. And ShotSpotter, I was at number 9, actually I was at homicide and then went to number 9 back and we got it to 13. A huge advocate of it, pushed the chief, then James Craig, And he used to talk to the mayor, I have to go see the mayor and push him, one day, he's like, ah, hey, Doctor, we'll get a shot spotter. And the city now it's getting up to about 30 square miles, I think it's a phenomenal tool. And then, there's some other things called NIDM, which go back to guns, NIDM's National, or Ballistic Information Network, National Integrated Ballistic Information Network, but basically we track casings. All the casings that we pick up out there, whether it's vaccines, whatever, and it's kind of like a fingerprint.
Is that true?
It's 100% true.
Cause I don't wanna be dramatic, I found these two cases on my porch.
You know, I mean, you can have somebody put them out there, give time, date, location. Look like they
They not my gun.
might not.
So I know this is a gang sign or what?
So, you know, it's phenomenal. It goes through a computer system called Match Point and kind of 3Ds, the casings, goes through the system. It's like fingerprint apex. It'll say, hey, that gun was used before. And the beauty of NIBIN is now you can identify one gun and start tracking its use, which can lead to who possesses that gun and what it's been used. So take them up, folks, say, got these time date,
Yes.
what's on there,
None of my windows are out, I don't think.
and it's,
Just
this is really done. Back in, when I went homicide at 13, we didn't have NIBIN in the city of Detroit. We were relying on Michigan State Police, and the backlog was incredible. I went down to New Orleans with the deputy chief and the ATF, and they're like, their turnaround, we're literally there, we're probably ahead of the rest of the nation in a few short years of getting those 24-hour turnarounds on a lead to say, hey, that gun was used here, here, and here. And just from an investigative capacity, gives you a lot more directions to go than, you know, basically from nothing to, hey, here's a lead, here's a direction, follow and see what you get. So that's some of the technology. There's probably some more, a lot of great partners that we have, going back to some of the vehicles and stuff like that. People just running from, not only driving really bad, they like to run from the police. Occasionally we'll bring in helicopters from like Homeland Security and might surprise people, and when they take off from the police, they throw that one finger up, think they're free. I've had helicopters follow them all over the city until they actually stop. And then we kind of swoop in and be like, that's it. It wasn't me. Yeah, it was. So that's, you know, just some of the stuff that we use.
Okay, I'm hoping the police company get more technology, because I think it's a lot.
I'm all for it. There's a lot of great tools out there. You know, facial recognition, all that different stuff. There's negative sides of it. But from an investigative thing, it's a lead that says, hey, it doesn't say anything definitive, but it says, hey, this is something you should look at. Cell phone technology, a lot of really good stuff out there.
You got little wraps, like the Batman wraps.
That we do, and I don't know anything. That's on our SCAT team, our crisis intervention team. They have some fancy polo wraps and Spider-Man wraps to prevent injury. So we're definitely using technology. Anything else for the police side?
Yes, pit bulls,
Yeah.
what's happening with them? I had thought, years ago, that in order to own one, I thought you had to have paperwork on them. I thought you had to have $100,000 insurance policy on them.
I don't. I think
For that
tell you
dog.
all that part. In fact, they're
And it
supposed
was
to have an ear
considered a
tattoo.
weapon.
They're supposed to have an ear tattoo. I've never
Yeah.
gone up and asked one if they've had an ear
Yeah,
tattoo.
it's supposed to be considered a weapon too.
I don't know on the insurance factor. They're not considered a weapon. I know enough that there's nothing really that special. At one time, they're supposed to have an ear tattoo, and like I said, I never went up. So come here, Pop, let me see your ear tattoo.
I see a lot of them loose.
And unfortunately, you know, it just goes to canine owners.
Yeah.
There's really, really good ones. There's great pit bulls. There are really mean ones.
Well-
Depends on what they're bred for, how they're really.
Well,
raised.
one I'm gonna talk to, Dan about, there's this house on Winchester. on the corner of Winchester and Cherries. There's two pit bulls back there and there is no fence at all. It is completely open, the whole side of that house.
Now, what we'll do is, actually, that's an animal control question, so we will reach out to, Investigator Hopkins. Hopkins, and see if he can make the next meeting to go further in details about what really, is the protocol for the license insurance. He's the one that's able to answer that better than we are. That's
Yeah.
animal control. We get the calls, but at the end of the day, there's only so much we can do. We have to get animal control involved. So I'll reach out to him tomorrow morning to see if he can make our next meeting, so he can give you guys more information about how we can control that situation.
That was done some years ago.
Well, he's new, so I'm sure,
Oh.
but you haven't dealt with him. He is very thorough with, he's really passionate about helping with situations like that. I've had called him myself for, the incident for my own neighbor. So I will reach
And
out to
these
him tomorrow.
kids, it's just dangerous, because you never know what they'll do. You never know what they'll do to these kids that's walking home from school.
So now one thing too, and that goes back to what the mayor said. And that's why we all got cell phones. I know a lot of you guys call us. But if you guys got any issues, any questions that you know is not a 911 call, call us. We'll have an answer, or we'll, call the right department for you guys, like whether it's something to do with trash or whether it's something to do with, the water, anything, because we work closely with, as you know, the district managers and city council and things like that. And so we have a partnership to where we, make sure that you guys don't get the runaround when
Yeah,
it comes to getting the services you need.
and then there's that people supposed to be fined
They
for
do that.
keeping their trash cans from, they just come out the front door, go to the trash can, back in the house. The trash can stays on the streets and it makes the neighborhoods look
So
bad.
what street is that?
And I'm a homeowner and I hate it. Oh, Gallagher Street is one of them. Shield is one, Gallagher Street, Cherry Street, Wexford,
So what we do is, when we get, so we all stay here after the meeting, and whatever complaints and things you guys have, you guys just come we come in, or you come to our office, we'll take them all down, and then starting the next day, once all of us, we address all the complaints.
because I had a flyer that you put on the doorknobs. I got bought a big stack of them to go in the neighborhood. As a matter of fact, Scott Benson sent someone else to my house for me to go pass them out. But by the time I got through calling them, I wanted to know, how can I get paid for this? Because this is my time and my danger, walking up on somebody's porch, sticking a thing on it about the trash can. And I was supposed to market too. What I seen wrong, market, the trash picked up, trash out there before.
I hope you didn't do that.
I did, wait a minute, I did do my block, but it don't work for me, got all new people in it now. But I did do my block before I stopped, and I guess the next block goes.
So,
But I didn't have one of them flowers at home on my dresser that I saved.
No, you a good one, that's all I'm saying. Yolanda was next, we get Yolanda.
Okay, I just want to know, because I know the hours of operation for, traffic is probably, I would say at the latest, maybe 6 o'clock. But I have traffic from Cary, 11:30, 12, 2, 3. When they come down there, wide open. I mean, they be wide open. Yes, my street is a short street. It does have in that block or whatever, 2 speed bumps. Sometimes I get this speed bump, it be kept. Cause I don't know whether they don't realize that it's like right there. And they go down there, and then when they get to it, it's almost too late. They just hit it.
And you are right, most traffic officers do work, like a lot of one-man cars are traffic enforcement unit, work one-man cars, so they're usually off street. They flex their hours, they start working later in the summer. Or two-person, I'm sorry about that, two-person cars. We can flex their hours, and it's a good point, we'll continue. D-Rob?
Yes, so we have a question on here, Ms. Williams, but also just so you know, so weather's breaking, and what we do sometimes, we get with members, with Kayana Sessoms and our crew, and sometimes with the some other members of the city government, I should say, and we go down these blocks and we look for things as well, passing out literature and things like that. And so things like this, when you guys have the trash cans, you let us know. And while we're doing that, we can address it. And whatever notices we need to put out, we put them out. As well, we type up letters and we can put them out ourselves. And
Yeah, but I know if you in the community, I'm almost sure every street you find on, you gonna see them trash cans out. And that's all, that's it.
Trash.
All you got to do is get out your car, knock on the door, is this your trash can? Write them a ticket. You're gonna see them on every street.
so that's what we'll get these, we'll get all the blocks, you guys. We'll write everything down and then we'll, between ourselves as well as the inspector.
Ride the streets,
Check it.
and I see. I'm gonna be honest.
Okay, we gonna go to, yeah.
I
Hold
want-
on,
Yeah, Ms. Williams up here first.
Okay, but hold on, they go, Ms. Green, go ahead and get your question in.
Okay, what about all these, trainings people just got trash and it's two places I can tell you, one is Shields between, 7 Mile and Stockton. I see them going out there putting stuff right in front of, it's on the street. Just putting junk in there, they got a big pile of junk. The other one is deplorable, and I said it once before, Victoria and Fleming. Between Davidson and.
Hey, ma'am, I got a quiz question for you. Who's your MPO? That'll work.
Oh, I
Those
didn't
are
get that, yeah,
questions that-
it's still
Said,
there.
grab that, T-Rod and be like, come here. And
You know
those
how I
are,
feel.
I'm gonna tell you real quick, and I shouldn't tell you half story, but I understand the community concerns. I was in command for NPOs. We used to have what were called community relations officers. And they weren't really doing a whole lot of relating with the community at some point. Chief Craig came out with, hey, we're gonna have neighborhood police officers, and I was like, okay, another name, whatever. Then one of the best things that I've ever seen in command, it allows me to work on that violent crime issues that's my heart and passion. And portable cans and traffic, okay, I go both ways on that, but these are some of the most receptive officers, not only 11th Precinct, because I worked with them there, but those type issues. D-Rob, I'll give you his number if I had it right.
You don't have my number.
Everybody go down
Everybody.
there.
I don't know if I want to give it to you.
Quiet, please.
Talk to them. Okay.
Okay, before we answer any more questions, I got a couple of people that I want to get to really quick. I'm not gonna dismiss you guys, but right now, and I know he probably has to go, as I have Chief Judge McConicle, and then I also have Merlin Martin. Both the gentlemen are with 36th District. And good evening to both of you gentlemen, Judge McConicle and Mr. Merlin Martin. How you guys doing this evening?
Good evening, Ms. Jackson. How are you?
I'm good, thank you.
Good evening, Ms. Jackson. How are you?
How are you? Long time no see. You been all right?
I have been great. I've been great. It's been a lot of good information I've been hearing today. I have and can I go now, Kim? Or
Yes, you can go now. You're
okay.
good.
All right. Before I start my presentation, and I have a person from our court I want to introduce. The pit bull situation. I was listening to it, and I do want to say that it is a very serious situation right now. I had a case last week where I had a husband and a wife that they were in front of me where their pit bull had got out and mauled a kid and killed him. And they were charged with manslaughter. And and the problem with that case was this is actually the second time that that same dog had mauled someone. Almost 10 years to the day, the dog had mauled another kid, did not kill that kid, but this time there was a death. And it was kind of like the situation allegedly where I heard someone complain that there was the dog was not is in a yard but was able to get out, was not chained to the fence, and was not supervised. So I would say that I swear in all of the animal control officers, and we have some really good animal control officers. And this is the most in the 14 years I've been a judge. This is the most amount of animal control officers that we have right now. And really, please contact someone because this is a real situation out here. And I heard the officer say pit bulls are if you train them to be fighters and to be cruel, that's how they'll act. If you train them to be loving, I know people who own pit bulls and they say they're the best dogs with kids. However, they are very dangerous if they're not trained and kept properly. So if you see something, please contact animal control because they will come out and help. With that, with that being said, today I want to. Well, I'll bring in the introduction in a second. Last week was a very special day in the judicial system. Last week in the state, for the first time, the Supreme Court denoted last week as Justice Week, and they asked the courts to go out throughout the state and do what we're doing right now, what we do every month: go to community meetings, maybe go to a school, maybe bring people down to the court, and because we're 36th District Court, we kind of took it to the next level. And so last week, myself and attorney Andrea Bradley Baskin, who I'm about to introduce, we spoke at Chrysler Elementary School at a 5th grade, and I talked about what it is to be a judge, how you become a judge. Attorney Bradley Baskin talked about how to become a lawyer and what she does as a lawyer. And then we had the classroom argue some fact patterns. And I know they had a show and are you smarter than the 5th grader? On that day, the answer was really probably no. I was so impressed with those 5th grade students at Chrysler Elementary School. And we're bringing them to the court now. They didn't have a bus, but we've helped get some transportation. They're going to come to the court next month. On Thursday evening was the 12th precinct. We had 5 judges go to the 12th precinct. Attorney Bradley Baskin went there as well as always Mr. Martin. He's going to be there. And on Friday, we had law students from the University Detroit Mercy. We had students from Renaissance High School, and we had some law students from Wayne State. And we filled up our cafeteria. We did an open house where they could go in any of the courtrooms, and we did a presentation later on. And so we had members from the state court administrator's office that came down, and most courts weren't really doing anything, but we really put on a great program and really introduced the community to what we're doing at 36th District Court. And to that point, I would ask everyone here, if you have some contacts at Pershing, at some of the middle schools in the 11th, please have them contact Mr. Martin. School year, we got a couple more months. See if we can get some of the schools to come down, or we'll come to them and we'll speak to some of the classes. We do our own kind of career day and speak to what happens at the court and how they can become lawyers, judges, go into law enforcement. And so if you have any contacts in schools, please contact Mr. Martin because we'd love to come out. The last thing, we've started for a few years now. We have an internship program at 36th District Court. And it started out with just law students. And then I expanded it to students at Wayne County Community College. and then it's expanded beyond that. We had a couple of years ago, we had a student that was doing a Zoom internship from Switzerland. We've had high school students now do it. And so the coordinator of the internship program is attorney Bradley Baskin, and I'm about to bring her on and stop talking because if you have some students this summer, we don't pay, but we give great experience. If you have some students that would like to volunteer and intern at the court, we are open for that, and they would work under the tutelage of attorney Bradley Baskin. So at this point, 11th Precinct, I want to introduce our general counsel at 36th District Court. I feel like she's new, but she's been here since May. So it is time for me to bring her around. So this is attorney Andrea Bradley Baskin. Andrea.
Good evening. Thank you, Chief, and good evening to everybody in the room and on Zoom. My name is Andrea Bradley Baskin, and as Chief Mechanical has indicated, I am the General Counsel at 36th District Court. It's quite a humbling and an honor for me, really, to serve in that capacity. I've been a lawyer for 17 years, but I'd have to say that this has been my most rewarding position because I get the benefit of being here and listening to the community speak about what's going on and really reflecting on how that plays out in the court setting. So it's everything coming together all at once. And I hear the complaints regarding the traffic, and I think about the judges that are on the bench every day, wrestling through those cases, and also the officers who come into the court every day, because that is a serious issue. The safety of the residents continues to be an issue on our roadways, and it's something that I see everyone taking seriously. Then you talk about, as Chief Mechanical indicated, the pit bulls. I mean, these are real life issues that you all are wrestling with that play themselves out in a court setting, and we take it seriously too. And that's why, we find it very important to be here with you and amongst you and hear your everyday concerns. And the blight, the trash cans is a real issue, not to be taken lightly, because you have every right to have a clean community where you don't have to battle with neighbors who never take their trash can in all week. So, we've all seen it. It's not right. And the police officers are wrestling with the guns and the narcotics, as they indicated. And as a community resident came up and indicated, prescription medications are issues. But there's also, 36th District Court used to hear those cases regarding the trash and the blight. And those were considered misdemeanor offenses. But now the city has relegated that to, or I shouldn't say relegated, they have created an entire department. And actually, Chief Mechanical, as a legislator, was key in making that bill to create that department. So now there's a City of Detroit Blight Department. So I put up in the chat, as someone was speaking, also use the Improved Detroit app so that you don't have to, walk up and down the street, but you can use the technology that's out there now and make those complaints and keep our officers fighting the crime, and, and allow the City of Detroit to issue those blight citations for people who are not taking that seriously and not respecting your neighborhood. I just wanted to also point out that some of the technological advances that the officers talked about, I see playing out every day. And so I wanted to commend them in their use of kind of staying current and letting them know that we see the ShotSpotter warrants come through, and that those things are real and they make an impact. And we embrace those technological advances because it helps the officers to do their job, and it helps the judges to have a clean basis for making decisions. What they hate to see is when things come in and they have a gut feeling about, what's going on, but at the same time may not have the ingredients, and not because the officers haven't done their job, but maybe they were obscured from doing so. So things like ShotSpotter, things like the green light, those are all great things that have helped policing come along. And we appreciate and commend the police officers for employing that technology. And so I as Chief Mechanical indicated, we have an internship program. I'm a mom, and so I love having the youth in the court. I love seeing them to understand what we do, that we are residents of the city of Detroit, just like everyone on here, and that they too can be lawyers and judges in due time. So, I look forward to seeing you all. I'm so happy that I'm amongst you all tonight. We have open door policies here. Please, you know, feel free to write down my name, Andrea Bradley Baskin, because I am a resource for you. If you have any questions at the court, feel free to reach out to me. Definitely take down my office number. I'll put it in the chat, but I'll say it out loud. It's 313-965-3795. And I'm the general counsel at 36th District Court. And yes, my assistant LaDon is going to be upset because my phone is going to be ringing, but I assure you I'm going to pick it up.
Andrew, thank you. I really appreciate that. And I do want to say Judge Christina Kennedy wanted to be here and was supposed to be here today. And I didn't know that she grew up in the 11th. She let me know that she grew up on 7th and Van Dyke. And so she wanted to come today. And the majority of our judges are at the state of the county tonight. Warren Evans, our county executive, invited the bench to come. And I'm normally teaching a class on Tuesday, and I did not have class tonight. So instead of going to the state of the county, I wanted to take the time to come home and speak to the 11th. So I always say this is home. And so I wanted to give Merlin a little help tonight. So we want Mr. Martin to be here alone. And so we appreciate you for all that you're doing over there. And again, please, if you have any resources, we want to get into the schools in the 11th. And if you could give us some contacts, you could either send it to Mr. Martin or Attorney Bradley Baskin, and we would definitely like to get in there. And again, I'm here for questions if you have any.
I have one more.
Okay, start here with your related.
Okay, you say you got classes for the youth. What about classes for the seniors? We need to help these young people out too. Hello?
Listen, if you want to come down and intern, you can come and intern. Attorney Bradley Baskin has given her phone number. We do not have age requirements. So if you would like to come on down, and honestly, my students, I teach I've been teaching at Wayne County Community College now. I can't believe it's going on 13 years now. But a lot of my paralegal students who have interned at the court, we've had people in their 70s that are retired and they're going back to college and they're in the paralegal program and they've come through and interned in the law department. So we have no age requirements. So come on down.
No. My name is Cheryl and I live on Goddard, but I still have my house over there. Watson. I was here when younger with it. She got me the precinct. But what I want to know is, and I shared it with my sister from the ministry, you're not supposed to drive drunk. All these accidents, people getting killed, because people are high on that dope. It's something different. So I came to ask, can that be made illegal for people to drive under the? It is.
It is.
I think when you drive on the street, it's reaping from people's cars.
Driving under the influence of narcotics is illegal. And the thing that I tell students a lot is that where they don't understand the difference between operating while impaired based on a narcotic is different than operating while impaired or operating while intoxicated with alcohol. Alcohol comes in your system and it leaves your system. But if you smoke marijuana, it will be in your system for at least 28 days. And if you test, if you get a ticket, you fail a sobriety test, or the officers believe that you're under the influence, they take you to the state police and they do the blood draw, and you come back, you could have smoked 3 days ago, 4 days ago. If it's in your system, you're still considered to be operating while impaired. So the operating under the influence of marijuana or whatever other prescription pills is actually tougher on the defendant. But yes, we go to people are smoking in their cars. You can smell marijuana billowing out of cars when you go to a store. But if they're caught, it is illegal to do that. Even though the product marijuana may be legal, it is still illegal to operate a motor vehicle while under the influence of marijuana.
So how do we get a handle on right?
Well, that's a law enforcement issue, but I see those tickets coming through our court constantly. There There are tickets that are being written, not just for operating while intoxicated, but operating while under the influence. Those tickets are coming through 36th District Court right now.
One more thing, it's not good. It's the house on Fleming and Victoria, that lot, with all that junk. That's all, I'm following that.
We already on top of that, ma'am. What we have to do is have a couple other entities to come and assist us with that. We've been over there, we've written him this warning, that's already in the process. Partner Hill had one over there today, but we have to get DPW involved with us to get that stuff out of there. So we have been working on that, for the week. We're just trying to get all the, assistance that we have to get in order to get that whole property clear.
So do we need to follow with DPW?
No, ma'am. We are already working on that situation. We have to get the house.
Still live over there in that town.
We have to get, several tow trucks involved, the stuff that have the, trash in it. We have to get that trash removed out of the bins, off of the property. The police don't do that. We have to work with them to get that done. Then we go back and we have already started the process of ticketing the gentleman that's in, charge of that. So we are the boat, trailer, the cars, refrigerators, we already are working on that right as we speak.
Oh, and the trailer. Nice.
Okay, so then as applicants,
we can talk about that off line, right? Okay.
Ms. Jackson, can I make one quick statement?
Yes.
Last one. Okay. Before this slips my mind, which is important, I wanted to thank the 11th Precinct officers for 2 weeks ago. We had a dedication at Pleasant Grove Missionary Baptist Church where we named the portion of DeQuinder and Victor after our late pastor, Reverend Odell Jones. And the officers from the 11th Precinct did a wonderful job. They blocked off the street. They were part of the unveiling of the 2 street signs. I got to see Officer Hill and mess with him the same way I have been for about 22 years from back in my state rep days, and he was still coming and doing things in our area. But I just wanted, and I know Merle, and I probably stole his thunder, was going to mention this. I just wanted to say the men and women who were there were phenomenal. The amount of respect that was shown for our late pastor, and just, it's what you guys do on a day-to-day basis. But I do, on behalf of my church, I do want to thank you for what you did on that Sunday. So, all right.
So here, I have a question for you.
Yes, ma'am.
And I hear it a lot. So not only am I'm the mouth for the community, I'm gonna be the mouth for the officers today. Because I have heard that the officers, I shouldn't say I've heard, I've seen, well, officers are so discouraged because a lot of these marijuana cases that they're writing tickets on, they're getting thrown out. So my question becomes, you're asking us to do one thing, but then when we get down to the courts, then it's a different story. So,
can you be a little more specific? What type of marijuana cases are being thrown out?
marijuana, you smell it in the car, they pull up behind you, you're not, I shouldn't be,
Right.
you all shouldn't be able to pull up to the back of I'm gonna use me as an example. I'm driving in my car, you guys smell marijuana, roll down that window, smoking everything coming from the car. You give me a ticket, the ticket then goes down to court, and then it gets dismissed. Or they get kicked out.
I am very unfamiliar with that fact pattern, because just as if you pull up behind a person and a person is drinking a beer in a car and a ticket is written for open intox, those tickets are prosecuted by the city attorney's office every day, the city's law department. If you pull up and there's marijuana coming out of the car, that's probable cause to search the car. If there's any contents of that car, the car can be towed, and you can't smoke or drink in your car. Now you can possess marijuana. You can just as you can possess alcohol. It's a legal product if you're over the age of 21. But you cannot consume it in public areas. You cannot consume it in your car. It can be consumed in a house or some prescribed area, but I am unaware of tickets
Well,
being.
how about you
given
and
out.
I take it offline and we talk later? How about
Okay.
that?
Well, what I can also do is next week, not next week, next month, I'm gonna invite Judge Larry Williams, who's the presiding judge of the traffic division, and he's the one they handle those type of misdemeanor marijuana cases, and we'll bring him here, and I'll talk to him tomorrow. But I'm unaware of a high propensity of tickets being dismissed dealing with marijuana.
Well, I'm not gonna say hi. I'm not gonna say that. That's not
Okay.
a good statement to say hi, but I know there has been.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that they seem to get discouraged when they go to write a ticket and then you go through all this work and then next thing you know, they get kicked out. So that's just me. I'm speaking up for some officers that I've heard.
Okay.
Don't need names to be mentioned, but in fairness, it's just kind of heartbreaking because I understand where they're coming from. Because why am I gonna stop this car and it's gonna get thrown out anyway? I got other stuff to do.
Understood. I'll take that back. And then that's the beauty of us coming back every month. So we'll have a further discussion next month.
Okay.
Hey, Judge,
I appreciate that.
This is D-Rob.
Okay.
So, sir, what she's alluding to, there's been some times where, like say, before the new marijuana laws, there were some things that were cases, that were felony cases and things like that as it related to arrests dealing with marijuana. And now some of those same things that used to be and probably still should be, because they're not up under any of the new rules that's up under the laws as far as arrest, as far as dealing with marijuana. If our officers, like say, either if it's a illegal location or some of those places like that, it's really kind of tough to actually get a case to stick. And so the officers do all that work, they collect this, and then they get no case all the time.
Can you put your number in the chat for me? Or Merle, do you have his number already?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Let's get together in the next week or so, and let's get together next week.
I'll get the information to you.
Okay. I appreciate it.
Yep, thank you.
Oh, no problem.
Do we have any other questions? Yes, we have.
Yes, I'd like.
Miss Williams been on here waiting.
Oh, I'm sorry, Miss Williams. I apologize, and then I'll have you next. I'm sorry.
Thank you. My name's Versailles Williams. I'm the pastor at a church on the corner of DeQuinder, and it's between Mark and it's on 7 Mile. And it's Mount Calvary AME Church. The church had been closed for a couple years, so we've opened it up and we're making good progress. My question: there is an alley in the back of the church. It's actually in the back of the church, and there's deep holes. And my concern is the safety of the young people and even the adults when it's getting warm, and if they're riding through the alley, the holes are so deep, they're going to fall and hurt themselves. Well, hopefully they won't hurt themselves. Who is it that I would call and ask if those holes can be filled in for the safety of our young people, especially riding their bikes or their little motor peds? I see them sometimes. I beg your pardon?
They shouldn't be driving them anyway on the streets. Or the alley. The moped.
I would recommend starting with Councilman Benson's office, and they could put you in touch with the appropriate part of the administration. The city would be in charge with backfilling those holes, but that I'm not sure the exact department. But that I would go through Councilman Benson's office to do that.
I did call the city about 3 months ago trying to get a head start because the snow was going to be melting. I'll call again. I thought maybe I called the wrong department.
Well, see, the major issue with that, I'll go back to when I was the city attorney in Highland Park. That issue is a bad issue. They had that situation in Highland Park, and we had people that would step in those holes, break their ankle, and then they would sue the city. And then that was my job to defend the city. But you have to take those measures to clear to take care of that nuisance, and because that's an open danger that of, that once you know that you have open manhole covers that aren't covered or holes in your street. So the city would want to take care of that because the city is self-insured and they have to pay those lawsuits if someone gets injured. And so
okay, thank you.
And that's another condition that you can also report on the Improved Detroit app. And so
Improve-
one of the, mhm.
So Pastor Williams, this is MPO Robinson, D-Rob. You can
Hi.
text me that location and then I'll go out there and I'll make sure to contact the right persons for you.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, so you go ahead with your question now. Okay, I wanted to go back to safety, when we talked about safety and helping stop crime with technology. As a new business owner in Detroit, one of the things that I couldn't wait to do was to, once we opened our business, was join the Green Light Project. For 2 years, I couldn't wait to join the Green Light Project. However, when we opened our business and I looked into it, we just couldn't afford it. We couldn't afford the price, the starting price, or could we afford the monthly fee that you have to pay? I just want to ask, is there any way you guys offer a discount or any waiver? Because we so bad we want to participate in that, so bad that we were thought about getting the green light put outside our building. Because we want to be a part of that, and we want the community to know that we are pro-police officers and we are pro-crime, fighting the crime. So that's one thing I have, and I just have 2 more things I want to say. So is there any way we might be able to participate in the Green Light program?
So where's your business located?
We're on Cashmere and Mount Elliott.
And how many other businesses are around?
There's 1, 2, 3, maybe 4.
So in the case, like what you're talking about, when it's a little too expensive, they have what they call green light corridors as well, where the businesses come together and there'll be, cameras put along these different, along that corridor. And then they kind of pool the payments together between all the businesses. And so, and it comes with a fancy sign and all that stuff that comes up, say it's green light corridor. And so anybody that comes through that corridor will be captured on green light if you guys can't afford it. And what you do, you get with me and I got some literature in the office there I can share with you as well. Maybe the next meeting, we can have a representative, Sheila Young, come and speak to you guys if anybody else is interested. Or even offline, we can talk about that.
And also, I wanted to know, I know you asked if you had your number, I don't. If I could get some numbers of officers, I would love it, because a couple of things. One time our alarm went off and the security company called, the police officer was on a Saturday night at 10 o'clock. And I understand they couldn't make it out. And if I just felt like if I had a number I could call, maybe we could have gotten some attention. We did come over, but it took us an hour to get there, and it was a false alarm. Well, our door was cracked or something. Well, it wasn't a real serious incident, but I thought if it was a real serious incident, it would have taken us an hour to get there. We didn't expect any special, nothing at all, but I'm thinking if we had some kind of inside number, perhaps somebody would have gotten somebody out there. And on the flip side of that, our alarm went off one time because our back door was open, like the back door flew open and the alarm went off. We weren't there. The officers came out. My granddaughter was there, greeted the officers. They went in the building, they looked around, we didn't have a problem. And they did tell my granddaughter for some reason that if they did get another call, that they were going to come back out. I didn't get those officers' names, but I did really, really appreciate the fact that they were gonna make it their business to come back out if something had happened again. Because we didn't understand why that door was open, but we really appreciated that. So if I could get a couple of numbers, and kudos to the officers that came out.
Number to our office, everybody who don't have it, the number to our office, our main number to the 11th Precinct Community Relations, 313-596-1118. So that's 313-596-1118. And my cell number, for those that don't have it, is 313-600-3354. And now, most of us, we don't work late hours, so normally, when it's, late outside, we probably won't get that call to the next morning, so. Cause, when we off work, I know with me, I can speak for myself, my wife, she tends to wanna, break my neck if I'm on that phone and I'm not at work. And she no more.
That's how you stay married, sir. That's how you stay married.
Draw the line.
And I know the last meeting we had in November, I think it was a couple of new people, and they were saying how they were gonna, patrol the communities a lot more. And then I think a couple of the rookies were, delegated to come out in the community and patrol a little more. I must say, we don't see the officers coming down our street, at all. We're right around the corner from that impound, the police impound on Mount Elliott. And we'll see an officer come down every now and then to go to the police impound, but we do not see the officers come down our block. So
But in addition to that, we do drive around. Sometimes, do anybody ever see that big van that say police on it? Everybody act like they can't see police on it because they
Right.
speed past me, cut me off, and then when I turn the lights on and write some tickets, they're like, oh, I didn't see you. So I know I drive that way quite a bit, like running to different beats. Sometimes I'll cut through, like getting down to Mount Elliott or going up to the bridge and things like that. So whenever we're out, sometimes we'll just ride up the street, especially if you guys tell us something's going on, we just try and see it for ourselves as well. So that old adjective, the squeaky wheel gets the grease, right? So when you guys call us and tell us something, we're gonna come out and look at it. We'll see if it's there. Sometimes it's already taken care of. And then sometimes, we see it for ourselves and we take care of it then.
And again, something else a lot of people that have listened to, if you see someone dumping, you call 911. Don't just call the 11th precinct looking for us. If you call 911, a car, that one is for record. Two, they can get a car to you just as fast if you call 911. So if you're waiting on us,
You might be in a meeting with the chief's office.
or different things, we are a multi-task unit. So call 911. When the officers come to the location, if it's something that they cannot handle, they will notify us. They are very good at calling, texting, writing notes, sticking it on our cars, on our door. So we will answer. But a lot of people feel like they are, because they don't think that it's a crime, they don't call 911. No, for record purposes, call 911. If you have neighbor troubles, call 911. It's for records. So do not feel like if nobody's getting shot, somebody's not about to die, that you shouldn't call. Okay?
Okay, we're gonna go to our next speaker, Lisa Beard with Water Department, representing the Water Department.
Hi, everyone. I am Lisa Beard. I am from Compass Strategies. We are minority owned, the largest minority owned PR in Michigan, grassrooted. And I'm here, we represent a couple different companies. So I'll make this quick because you guys are down in business. I'm your new community liaison, but we're in District 4 and District 3. So this is District 3. So I have a threefold. I'm gonna tell you about my little black book. And I'm gonna tell you about some services. I'm gonna cut it real short. So Detroit Water and Sewer Department, we have a water affordability program that's going around for Detroiters. We're trying to get it, Senator Chang is trying to get it for the whole state of Michigan, but right now, if you're a Detroiter, you qualify for a water affordability program. And what that does is that gives you a set water bill, fixed water bill, won't go up, won't go down, you won't lose any of your services. And it depends on how many people are in your household and your income. So for instance, if you're a household of one, you can make up to, well, they just raised it, actually, that was a new thing too. They just raised it as of yesterday, the level. So on this sheet that I left for you guys, it says 27,000 for a person of one to have a $56 a month water bill. So now they raised it up, so it's like over 30,000. So a person of one household that makes over 30, just over 30,000 can have a water bill of $56 a month.
68, but go ahead.
You might go down, because like I said, they raised in all the buckets, they raised the income level. So if your income level was in bucket 3 and they raised it, now it could be in bucket 2, which will take you down to 43, it might even take you down to 18. So it just depends. Your services don't get interrupted. You get up to 1,100 gallons of water per person in your household. So that's a good thing, it's hard to go over that. And also you get protection shut off, and you can also qualify for some minor plumbing bills. Once you get on the plan, once you start on the plan, if you have a past due bill, they'll wipe that out for you as well. I got all the flyers over there for you guys to take and look at them. Another thing any questions on that? So far, I'm trying to rush because I don't know. Yeah, I've been here all day.
How many months can you get behind on that?
On your plan?
On the plan.
You shouldn't get behind any months. That's
No, you know you shouldn't, but I'm just saying, how many months can you?
probably to be safe, 3. As long as you catch it up. And then if you don't catch it up, then you have to pay it off. And then they go to the 10, 30, 50.
Okay, now one more thing, do you have to apply for that every year, or once you own it, you own it?
Once you own it, you own it. Call the number, so they got different ways to do it now, so.
I know it's 3/8 something, right? 3/9.
386.
3/6, okay.
386-9727 is the number you call. Wayne Metro will sign you up. You just give them your information. They'll sign you up. If you're not good with using computers, you still call this number and they'll send you to a site where you can go and sign up for that. Again, it'll stop your shut-offs. It'll take care of your past fields. You can get minor plumbing repairs on this plan. And I do these community events like in River Ridge, Easter. They don't have this, right? They can't get on it in for Detroit. So, and then again, we thought about the income, so they raised that level, so everyone should be able to qualify. Please sign up for this. The second thing I want to talk about is the responsibility of the homeowner. So when you have your water, so you think about your main water. So it comes from the side of your house to where they turn the water on and off in the grass. That is your responsibility. Anything having that pipe from your house to the curb stop is what it's called. You are responsible for that. Anything beyond that, Detroit Water and Sewer Department is responsible for that. And then if you think about the back, your sewer line, anything from your basement all the way out to where the crock meets is your responsibility. All the way up to that little ball. You're responsible for that. If something happens, you have to dig up your yard, you're responsible for that. Even if you buy a land-based home. If they don't, they usually have a mark, but if not, and you buy your land-based home and you find out that one of your pipes are busted or cracked, you are still responsible for that. Yes, sir.
So even if, say we have something that happens from the city side where there's some kind of damage and we know that it's some kind of backup that comes, it causes that on a person's property to be damaged. That will still be the person's responsibility, or would the city be responsible?
So you'll probably have to prove it. So what they suggest is that at least every 2 to 3 years as a homeowner, have a camera go down, like have the plumber come out and put a camera down there and make sure there's no cracks and leaks. Some areas it goes to your back fence, but in other areas it goes all the way out to the crotch, and those are decades old. So yes, you're responsible for that, but they do have a warranty program and it's on the site. Now I left the flyers over there. This warranty program is for Detroiters as well. It's on the Detroit Water and Sewer Department website where you pay $8 a month for like a warranty. So if you have to have your yard dug up, this will help you with the cost. When you call them, ask questions, ask a million questions. It is a warranty program. So you just want to ask questions and make sure that you can, you understand the terms and things like that. They'll make you from Detroit, $7 a month. Anything happens, you're covered. Any questions? Nope.
I have a question. On that program where you pay for any damages to your water line from the house clearing from the alleyway, they why isn't it connected to the water bill as opposed to you having to pay a separate?
As far as the warranty program?
The warranty program.
Because you don't have to have it. Like some people don't do it. They, it's like insurance. It's better to me not have it than have it and not need it. So if they put it on your bill, that's like we saying that you have to have it from this company.
But that's what I'm saying. Okay, I voluntarily signed up for this.
Right.
Okay, so obviously I want it. Why can't it be attached
to my water bill as opposed to me paying two separate bills. I gotta pay that bill, then I gotta pay the water bill.
There's a couple of reasons for that. One, we don't own the program. We just endorse the program. That's first and foremost. Second, say for instance, your water bill is $100. This thing costs $7. You done paid $90 or $95, you didn't pay this, your whole water bill will be put off for that. So it's a separate entity. And you don't want to connect it to something like that, because what if you choose not to pay for this? Or you change your mind, now we gotta go through the whole thing, but the water company does not run the program. The water company just endorses the program, so they wouldn't put that on your bill. It's like the American Home Warranty, same thing, that won't go on your mortgage, it doesn't go on your insurance, it's separate bills. Because you have the right to price check, you don't have to use this program. You use any program that you want, but this is just the one that the water department is endorsing on their website. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I know not the question.
Well, no, because I guess what I'm saying is just like with DTE, you can sign up for the protection plan, or you don't have to. So if you give a hand in your bill, guess what? They take all the money, apply it to your bill, and they don't apply it to the warranty.
Yes, so that's what I'm saying, absolutely, because it's not their warranty, because even myself, they'll send me a separate bill, if one thing is behind. I don't want my gas to be shut off because I didn't pay the warranty.
No, they just opposite.
Right.
They don't take their money, you just won't have it warranty.
But I'm saying, what if I just don't pay a piece of portion of it, then my whole gas bill is tied up into this bag right here. And they want this, they give you options. Because if they put it on their bill, it's like saying that you gotta do it. So they just give you options to shop around, find a warranty program that fits your needs. This is just something that they say, hey, we did the research. We talked to them to give our Detroiters a discount on it, but you don't have to choose this particular company. You can choose any company that you want. We just wanted to let you know that the services are out here for you.
That's your question.
Okay, what I wanted to say is when that first came in the mail to a lot of people in the neighborhood, it was very confusing.
Yeah.
And it seemed like a scam. And when you would call the water department, they would say, oh, well, we don't have anything to really do with that. It's like we told them that they could do it or whatever, but we really don't have anything. That sounds kind of shady. Shady to me, it almost sounds like, oh, I'm gonna give you a contract because you my friend.
Right.
You know, that's what it almost sounds like. And so a lot of people did jump on it. I haven't even done it because I'm still like, just like when you came in and you started talking, I said, I want to know some information about it. I still feel like I'm still in the same spot.
Yes.
Even though you kind of told us a little stuff.
Told you
But I
about
already knew that stuff you're telling me.
And that's why they coming up with these names. When you said that, that made me think about it, cause like mine came in the mail.
Yeah.
And it's people's names that's not even on the house. Well, where you find these names from?
From the warranty program.
Yeah, they putting all kind of stuff.
Because when you run, like, if you run a check for a house, it'll come up like the old, like you search the address, it'll just list people that been at that address on your board. And
Who's sending stuff to just
that's
anybody?
right, that's marketing for you. They market and they try to catch somebody. Yeah, that's why they trying to catch people to market. They call it about the house that I don't own. Like, where you get my name from? So, I understand, but yeah, it's the marketing that they do. Okay. Anyone have any other questions?
What's in the question?
Okay, one more thing, my last thing I want to say, the biggest thing I wanted, well, two more things. The Black Book. So I definitely came out to see if you guys had any concerns with the water and sewer department. I can take them down for you and send them right over. So I just need your name, phone number, email address, and an address, and your concern, and I'll definitely take it down and they'll reach out to you and give you the answer. That's the first thing. And the last thing I want to say is that, again, I am your resource liaison for this area. And I just needed to know, we have another project coming up. It's with the Ambassador Bridge. If anyone that lives over there behind Buddies in that neighborhood, like Jerome, Moran, yes, I need your name and phone number, especially if you are a community leader, you have a church in that area, because I'm coming back out and talk about the things that's going on with the Ambassador Bridge in that area. I'm throwing an event, I'm gonna come to your event, I'm gonna also do another event.
They're building a company here, so. I'll
Yeah.
have to-
So if you're just leave me your name and number, I can call you and let you know what's going on. I definitely wanna go out to your events, if you need me to come out to any of your block clubs, I've been in backyards, it doesn't matter. I have June, July, and August, available, but I do need anybody that's in that area behind, Conant and 6 Miles Wrong area. I need your name and phone number, so we can make sure you can be on the list.
Does that cover floods?
This one?
The water line protection? I mean, do I handle?
This is for the sewer line, so we, over there on the table, it is a couple of things that handle floods, but that's if you're in that. The flood zone. Some houses are not, some areas are not, but I did leave the flyer over there for that, so you can look at it if you like, for that way, okay? Anybody have any other questions, please, again, if you live in that area, I really need to get your contact information, so you can get through and see what's going on in your area. It's all good, and I'm leaving, my phone number. If you have any concerns, for the area, it's 313-398-7576. Give me a call, if you need me to come out to a meeting, Compass, we represent a slew of companies, big major companies, so. 398-7576. 7576, it's 313. Now, what's your name? Lisa? Lisa B. Lisa. What's your name?
Can we get that put in the chat?
Sure.
Thank you.
Go ahead, repeat the number.
313-398-7576. Lisa Beard. Beard, Lisa, Lisa.
Lisa,
Street manager?
No, I'm not the man, I'm a
Community rep?
community liaison, yes, I am.
So who's the rep for District 3? Who's the rep for District 3?
Or Scott Benson is our councilman, you have Kiana Sessions over at Farwell. So she does a lot of stuff with our MPOs, so usually she's over at Farwell, that would be Kiana Sessions. Usually she attends our meeting, but I know a lot of them are doing the Wayne County Sheriff's event tonight. So.
I got a question for you.
Yes, sir.
So you know what they were doing on Outer Drive in Van Dyke? What were they doing?
The water department?
Yeah.
7 Mile.
Well, this is maybe the area where they're changing out the main lines. The main.
So they can tell something and they're
changing like the main and then. Now while they going down your street, they might be doing your street as well. So instead of, because they used to have you sign up for it and sign it, you document, but now once they're in your neighborhood doing the main drains, they're just gonna shoot up the same street and do those names as well.
It's been under construction for a long time, and Van Dyke.
Yeah, if it's the water department, they're changing all those names over there.
They built a small city up under there.
Yeah, because you know, DTE.
You know what, I hate to cut you guys short, but I gotta get one more person up here. If you guys need to sign up, please get with Lisa, but just maybe step outside, don't make a fuss in this room. So I do want you guys to sign up and I do want you guys to participate, but just give us a few more minutes because I have to get Darian. Darian, are you able?
Yeah.
Okay.
I just have to take care of my little dad.
Okay. No, that's fine. I want to get you up here as well.
Okay.
So
Hi, everybody. I'm here to visit, so I'm gonna be real quick. I am from the AmeriCorps Urban Safety Program. And I got some information for you all. As well as some free items if you are interested. So I'm wearing a couple different hats today. For those of you who, know me before the pandemic, we used to do the CompStat meetings here at the precinct before we lost funding for all precincts for that, but we still do have our auto theft prevention, safety program where we pass out car clubs like this one for free, as well as wheel locks. And I have some car clubs today for those who want them. If you want a set of wheel locks, we will actually bring it to your home and deliver it to you because every vehicle has different sizes. I have these leaflets here. This talks about some auto theft prevention tips. One of the things that have been going on, if you all are not aware, is some newer vehicles
They have been getting stolen, no glass left on the ground, no anything. They've been wondering how they've been getting stolen. We actually have an item, and I thought this box was it, y'all, when I was rushing out the office, but it's not, so I do apologize for not having them today. But, this key fob that we have for our newer vehicles, right? Gives off radio signals. And for career criminals who know how to steal cars, they can copy your computer information from this key fob to a blank key fob. If you put it in a certain metal container, it blocks that from happening. It's kind of similar. Yes, you can copy key fobs. So it's actually very common in a lot of Chrysler, Dodge, and Jeep vehicles. Chrysler is aware of the defect. However, and this is from information from commercial auto theft, so I'm not making this up. However, a lot of people who purchase their vehicles are people from Chrysler. So if they get their car stolen, they just go back and buy another Chrysler. So it's really no money lost for them. But we have metal containers to put these in. If you're interested in it, I'll be here after the meeting. We can talk about ways in which I can meet you here at the precinct, or me or one of my team members will literally come to your house and drop it off to you to put your key fob in. I have one right under my TV right now. When I go home, put it in the metal container, put the top on it, and it blocks my key fob from being able to be taken. But in this flyer, and I'm actually I'll take one and pass it along. I have some information about how to keep your vehicle from being stolen. There's no 100% foolproof plan from your vehicle from being stolen, right? However, you can have, you can do things to try to prevent your vehicle from being stolen, such as having the car club, such as having wheel locks, such as having a metal key fob, such as parking in your garage instead of using it as a storage unit. All of these things are helpful and can help deter stolen vehicles. You all heard about the keys being stolen way back when. Kia is doing something about that. However, there are some car companies that know that there is a defect with their cars and they are not doing anything.
So if it's in your house, somebody can walk by and still get
with certain fobs. That is not with all of them, but with certain ones, yes, ma'am. And so some of the stolen vehicle reports that I read, it is from that going on. So it's not an easy thing to do. Don't get me wrong. It's not like a jack off the street and just walk around with a tablet. No. However, those people who steal them, they know what they're doing. And so that is an issue. But in your package, you all have auto theft prevention tips. Please pass them along to your neighbors. You also have some information about our program where we do a youth program in the summer for ages 17 to 24. Where youth members can, and we consider youth 17 to 24. But they can be a part of our program. Hold on. This flyer right here. Can I see this one right here? This flyer right here is the one that's still active. The 60+ program, hold on to this because this program has been paused. But we had a 60+ program where we was providing our cooperation items. You can call that number, we'll put you on the waiting list, but as of right now, that program has been paused. I know, I'm sorry. But this particular program right here, you can be any age, but we do a program for 17, 24 in the summer where they get a bi-weekly stipend and they get an education award that can be used for past student loans or future schooling for up to 7 years. I was actually a part of that program before I started my job. And then we have this, You Are Not Alone flyer. For those who may be in domestic violence situations, we actually have an advocacy program that assists people in getting personal protection orders, including ones against your neighbors. So we do PPOs for ones against your neighbors, not for them rolling over the grass, no. But if they are absolutely making threats against you, the thing is that police can come out. However, personal protection orders go through the court and it has to be enforced through the court. So a lot of people get frustrated because they're like, the police aren't arresting them. Unfortunately, the police is probably just as frustrated as you are because it's not up to them if somebody gets charged or it's not up to them if somebody stays in jail. That is up to the prosecution office. And so we walk you through that process to the point where if you know your daughter's nephew, whatever, baby mama, daddy, drama, all of that good stuff, and they are making threats against them. We've had situations where a woman tried to run a man over with a car. We did a PPO for him. And it is free. You don't have to have a computer. You don't have to have anything. We walk you through the entire process. But Kim actually asked me to be here today for the car club items, but I also wanted to inform you all about the other programs that we have at the AmeriCorps Safety Program. For those of you who do not have time and would need to call me later, I'm going to give you my office number. And I'm also like D-Rob, I got 3 kids and a future husband because I can marry next month.
Thank you. But I'm not answering the phone unless it's an emergency for a survivor after 5.
Get your number again.
313-577-1166. That is my office number. You can leave a voicemail. I promise I will listen to your voicemail. My name is Darian. I'm sorry, Darian. You can just say, hey, I met you at a meeting. You won't have to even remember my name. Yes, Barrian. But for anybody interested in the car club, please see me after the meeting. Is it a question for the group?
No, your number again.
313-577-1166. Thank you. All right, thank you, Ms. Jackson.
Yep, thank you.
Anybody else
Great
want a lottery
information.
ticket? I mean, a raffle ticket?
Yeah. Okay, we have our, okay, so real fast, we got a couple of minutes left, a little less than 10 minutes. March the 30th, we have our Easter egg hunt here at the precinct. That's gonna be March the 30th from 11 until 1. Here at the station. However, we need volunteers to help us pack the eggs with candy. So the 26th, the 27th, and the 28th, that's a Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. We're looking for at least 4 people each day for a couple of hours, starting at 11 o'clock to help stuff eggs. Okay?
That's one question about that, really quick.
Yeah.
Do you already have the supplies?
No, and I'm gonna
The
get to that.
reason why I asked that is because Myers have free stuffed eggs.
But what's in those eggs?
Jelly beans.
But they're not, see, we're looking for individually wrapped candy. We don't want them.
No, oh, no, they're in the
Plastic bag. Oh,
yes.
No, I'm talking about the beans are loose though.
No, the beans are in a plastic bag inside the egg. So even if they open, the
bag, it will hold beans.
It will hold the beans. They have 160 for $12.99 at Myers.
Okay, so now that you said that, thank you. So now, my next, because I'm ready to get to all of that. So, if you can volunteer any one of those days, I do ask you to call community relations so that we don't have a gang of people in there. So we only want like 4 each day. So call community relations, let them know I'd like to come and volunteer this day. And then we'll go ahead and then we'll get you signed up for whatever day that's convenient for you. And you guys got the number, that 596-1118. So that's the number you will call. Also with that, if you can donate candy, or if you don't want to donate candy, I will take your money and I will pick up the candy and then we will bring it up here and pack it up. So either way, we're looking for the candy and we're still looking at these 3 days. So don't come bring them to me on the 29th and say, can you, stuff these? Because the answer's gonna be no, you're gonna be mad if you waste your money. So I want either 1 or 2 things. If you donate, what I'm gonna do is use Darian's suggestion, and I'm gonna go to Myers and get some of those jelly beans that are stuffed. So we can use those. Yes, Officer Williams.
And if anyone, if you can, please, if you're able to help us with this event, if you can purchase some of the pre-packed baskets, we do want to try to give as many kids baskets as possible. So if you are able to, if you bring 1 or 2, everyone counts. So we'll be thankful for that.
So we need more baskets than we do candy, right?
Yes.
Everybody, a couple baskets.
And they're not cheap, oh, baby.
Okay, so, okay, a couple of more things to get out. February the 8th, we hosted the Board of Police Commissioners meeting. It was early this year for some reason, not sure why, but it was early this year. And just so you all know, we recognize Ms. Green. Right. So thank you, Ms. Green, for all you do. We appreciate it. Thank you. Also, here's what we're gonna do. So that every time we don't have an event, we have to ask you guys for something, because we do a lot between our, the Easter egg hunt, the police week, Halloween, we always doing something. So what we're gonna start now, we're gonna go back to dues. Dues are gonna go from March to March. So if you pay in November, thank you. But understand, March to March, we're gonna come back after you again and say, hey, would you like to pay dues? Dues will be $25 a household. So if a husband or wife are together, boyfriend or girlfriend are together, Whoever's together, that's just $125. But that is what we're asking for. And we have so much, like right now, we probably have nothing in our kitty anymore. We just only got to well, the husband gotta help me with that. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna go back to our $25 dues. And we're gonna, because we start in March, that's why I always say March to March, because they give you January, February, you gotta, put your pennies together. I understand, trust and believe I do. So that'll give you time, when you come in March, we can all be ready to go. But we're gonna do March to March, regardless of when you decide to pay it. Please remember, it's still gonna go from March to March, okay? And that's what we're asking for, and Leon is gonna take care of everything, write down, do whatever you have to do. But what I'm going to do is anybody that does sign up, and we're gonna say tonight you sign up, and I'm gonna say tonight because it is tonight. However, I know this is the last minute, so I'm gonna start in April. And what I'm gonna do, whoever signs up for their dues in April, I'm gonna raffle off. You're automatically in a raffle if you pay your dues. That's an automatic raffle in the raffle, and we're gonna raffle off a Ring doorbell. Okay, so if you do, and depending on how many people do it, I might do 2, a Ring doorbell and a gift card. So it just depends on what's what, but the Ring doorbell is guaranteed. And because it is already March, and I didn't, I just sprung this on you out of nowhere. We're gonna do it in April, but it's still gonna go from March to March. But we'll do the raffle in April, okay? Question?
Is it cash only?
No, and I thought about it, but yes, you're right, because I know people just cash app no, it'll be cash only. Yes. Unless Leon, you got another way. I don't want to speak to you.
ATM.
Okay, so I don't want to speak to Leon, so let me go to Leon and ask him. So,
Old school.
yeah, old school, right, old school.
Right.
That gold, right? You take gold.
I'll take gold.
Yeah, take gold. And you also, whoever does that, I'm also gonna include you in the, during the summer, councilmen and our commissioners, they will bring in baseball tickets. You will automatically be entered in those raffles for the baseball ticket or piston tickets or whatever they decide to give away. And what we do, we're gonna go by the list. When you do pay your dues, we'll go by the list. Your name is automatically gonna stay in this bag, and on the front, I'm gonna put dues. So I know anybody that paid dues is going in that bag, and you're automatically there. So you'll be the first one to say, here's a raffle or a ticket for you to a baseball game or something, okay? Do I have any questions online?
One question was it $25 a month? And I told him it was per year.
Right, it is per year. Per year, and now if you want to give me $25 a month, I'll pay it, but it's actually year, it's for the year, from March until March.
So I have a question.
Per household. Yes, ma'am?
So the dues, I'm a little confused. I'm learning. So are the dues for, is this Black Club dues or what is the dues for? This is Versailles. I'm not familiar with
This is for the community relations. This is for the community relations, our council. And what we do is that we would use the money toward events like Police Week and events for the Easter and veterans and senior turkey bingo. And so that.
But my question is not so much about money, it's just that, so I'm a pastor of a church. Would we join the community? I'm a little confused.
You're already part of the community, no matter if you do dues or if you do not do dues.
So we need to pay $25 in cash. Okay.
Right, we encourage, because we have so many activities that we do here. I just don't want to keep begging for every time we have something, we got to come begging from you guys.
Okay, so I need to find you in person. I was going to drive down, but I found out that there was Zoom. I don't live in Detroit, and I'd be glad to pay you $25 on behalf of our church. How would I get that money to you since I'm not there tonight?
Okay, what you can do, because you're not here, you can write a check, and it has to be made to the 11th Precinct.
Oh, okay.
Police Community Relations Council.
Okay.
And Kim
All right.
Jackson, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, so they won't think it's less.
Right, it has to be the 11th Precinct Police Community Relations Council.
Okay.
And I would like you to mail it here to the precinct,
All right.
5100
Uh-huh.
East Nevada.
Yep.
And you can put my name on the envelope, Kim Jackson.
Okay.
And so will let me know that I have mail here.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, I got the 11th precinct.
Well, you know what? I'm only doing it for her because she's away, right? But we need to do cash here in this room. I'm only doing it because she's away. And she can't get down here. So that's why I did mention it to her. It's the 11th Precinct Police Community Relations Council, 5100 East Nevada. Our zip is 48234. And you can put it in the envelope will be my name, Kim Jackson, and the MPO will let me know that it's here.
Okay.
If
And then
anyone else that's far away, you can do the same. But if you're here, close in this room, down the block up the street, then you gotta, we want cash. That's what we're looking for. Just because it saves us from running to, it just helps out a lot. Not being funny at all.
Right. When is that to be paid?
When you can pay it anytime you want, but we're doing it from March to March.
Oh,
So you can do it in November, but again, we're gonna be begging again in March. Okay, so I just March to March. Okay,
So next month I can bring.
absolutely, ma'am, you sure can. Yeah. Yeah, and like I said, and it gives you a few perks as far as drawings and things like that. It will give you a few perks that will automatically put your name in. Well, councilmen and commissioners come in with all those baseball tickets. We don't have to say you gotta buy a raffle ticket, even though we want you to do one anyway. But we're gonna automatically go in that bag and say, okay, you know, she paid her dues and we just gonna start reaching in that bag. We just gotta change up some stuff this year to get, you know, to kind of get everybody in it, everybody together. You know, we did the sign-in sheet with the ring doorbell. Now it's time, this is the new year, we want to do something different. Okay? Questions? We get ready to do the raffle. It's 5 after, and I know these officers are like so ready to go. So we get ready to do this raffle real quick.
Can
Yeah.
I just make an announcement right quick?
Yeah.
About FEMA. Back in August, we had a flood back in August, and FEMA came to Detroit and approved Detroit for like resources. So if anybody in here had a flood like in August, or if you think you had a flood, you might want to call the FEMA hotline for some assistance. So they are still going to Detroit. It's not even taking 2 weeks to get some compensation if you are approved. If you're not approved, they are going to refer you to the Small Business Association. If you're approved or not, they're gonna refer you to the Small Business Association for a small business loan to help get your house back together. So again, if you had a flood in August, or if you think you had one, you might wanna call FEMA.
What's the number?
Before April 8th. And I got a hotline number. I can read off the number.
And then just when we were talking about, and I'm not to cut you off, I'm so sorry. But remember we were talking about warning letters for trash cans, and this is the kind of letter that they will get in the mail. And it's a letter that says, here is the list of your violations. And they list them right here in this letter, and the homeowner gets this. But you know, not my problem if you can't read it, but you're gonna get it.
A lot of people don't open it up.
Well, you know what? That's not my problem, because it's going in your mailbox. And if it's going in your mailbox, then you need to open it.
And it's coming from the police department.
Exactly.
So we send those
Say
out.
police department.
Yes, it would be from one of us.
Right here.
Oh, now.
One of us.
They don't want to know what that is.
Well, you better know, because if you don't, you're gonna get your feelings hurt, because this is a warning. After this warning comes your ticket. So you can ignore it if you want.
But what if they've already received it prior?
Well, they gonna get more.
But so I'm saying, would it still be a warning?
I don't know. Now you have to.
So now we got a couple things. So that will fall up under blight. So
Quiet, please.
officers, we do enforce it. MPOs, we enforce that, as well as our city inspectors. And so, depending on which entity comes out, depends on how we handle it. And so, but what we do you know, a lot of times the homeowner, would definitely make sure that ticket get paid. And so because guess who we write? We write the homeowner.
Yeah.
That's who get that ticket.
What they running? But if you go on the
They
So-
go to the homeowner.
So,
all you see is collections. Y'all don't enforce it, y'all don't make them pay it.
so now, just so you guys understand, like a blight ticket, that's a civil process. So that's a civil process. And so what will happen, if you get a lot of tickets, you don't pay it, and things like that, then, you know, it could go to the collections agency and all that kind of stuff, suits and things like that. But at the same time, if we know that you're, you know, one of those people that continue to do things, then we do have, some B tickets that we can issue out. And that way, that will be a misdemeanor, or it could be a misdemeanor. And of course, you know, before we write a blight ticket, when we're in the system, you know, we do look at, you know, all the different occurrences. And, you know, the first time is one price, second time, the price is a little more, third time it goes up. And so we do have progressive steps that we take when, doing those blight tickets and things. Yes, ma'am.
So most of the houses are renters and the owner don't get the tickets.
So let me say this. Right.
If you rent to someone and you get that ticket, and they are destroying your property like that, you as the homeowner is gonna get the ticket. So you need to talk to your renter at that point about, because the house is registered to you.
Yeah, we pull who owns the house, we pull the records, we see who the homeowner is, and we attach a ticket to the door, and then we mail one to the homeowners. And then they have to show.
Might be out of state something.
Wherever they are, we'll find them. So-
She knows somebody with a home.
So we gonna finish this up, but any questions you guys got after this, after she dismisses, then we can,
We're gonna do the record real quick, so you guys can go with 10 minutes behind. Hold on. I got money for you for that. Okay, here we go. Taking them up. So we have what, $21? Next raffle, we're gonna do a $25 Visa gift card is the next raffle. Okay, here we go. And we're gonna pull. Let. Wait, I think it's 612, but I don't want nobody to get excited yet. Hold that thought. Gotta get your ready glasses. Hold on, wait. Yep, 612.
Hallelujah.
Oh, here we is. Come on, bring your ticket on up here.
Congratulations to you.
Okay, yep, I need that. Can you hand me that one? Yep, just pull it on off, my dear. Whoop and whoop. You're welcome. Thank you. Okay, it is 6:10. We are gonna admit, 8:10. Oh, my Lord. And we're gonna dismiss for the night, but hopefully we'll see you guys at the Easter egg event. But until then, our next meeting will be April the 9th, I believe, and hope to see you all then online, Facebook, Twitter, wherever you guys join us, please join us back again next month. Thank you guys for coming. Yes, ma'am.
You know, I wanted to ask earlier, but you know, those huge long tow trucks that you might can put have to tow a car on or maybe
A flatbed, okay.
are they illegal to park on them?